Well, the federal government, as we have been discussing, announced a new round of travel restrictions today. The Prime Minister hopes the new measures will help slow the spread of COVID-19 variants across this country. It also comes as Canada's vaccine supply took another hit today. This time, Moderna announced it would be reducing its shipments of vaccines to Canada in the coming days. Mona Niemer is Canada's Chief Science Advisor, and we have reached her in Ottawa. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you. I want to start by just getting your overall impression. As we have been discussing on this program, it's been a couple of days straight of bad news about vaccine deliveries. We also got some bad news last week. What is your take about how this is all going in terms of the rollout of the vaccination campaign?
Well, I'm going to start with the good news. The good news is that we have vaccines that work, which we weren't sure of even just a few months ago. So I think this is really great news, the Moderna, the Pfizer vaccines. But we had today and yesterday two further vaccines that provided some results of advanced trials, and they work as well. So that's Novavax and Johnson & Johnson, and we await AstraZeneca as well. So I think that, by the way, Canada has made agreements with all of these companies, so we're in a good position. Now, with the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, it's important to remember that these are newer platforms. It's a new technology. It's the first time that we have these kinds of vaccines, and it's the first time not only are they producing them, but they have to also scale them up. So it's normal that there are hiccups in the productions. I have to tell you, the contrary would have surprised me. So I think they will get over it, and I'm confident that we will have vaccines with few weeks, perhaps delay or so, but I'm very confident that we're going to be able to get all vaccinated come this spring and this summer.
I'm glad to hear your confidence. We should tell people that you're a member of the country's vaccine and COVID-19 task force. You're an incredibly busy woman. I wonder, are there options that you think either that are being explored or that should be explored in terms of domestic production? And I ask now because, of course, we're starting to hear about other vaccine manufacturers that haven't had success necessarily with the options they were trying elsewhere in the world, who are now wondering about boosting their own capacity. Is something like that possible anywhere in Canada? Is there something that you would like to see done on that front?
Well, yes, of course. There are a number of vaccines being developed in Canada, and they're not as advanced as the others, but we're going to be needing COVID-19 vaccines for a while. So these may well be the second or third generation of vaccines. And we're going to be in a better shape probably for local production. We have a number of companies in Quebec City, in the West, in BC, who are working on vaccines and are doing trials. So I think this is going to be coming along as well. I'd just like maybe to add one thing, in terms of the vaccines. We all await the moment we're vaccinated, but we have to remember that the vaccine actually protects against severe illness. It doesn't protect against infection. And as vaccines come in or are delayed, we have to remember that we do have a way of preventing infection and minimizing the spread. And that's to use all the tools at our disposal, including rapid tests, including, scaling up testing and surveillance in that regard. And that's particularly important with what we're seeing, the development of new variants, both in Canada and abroad as well. So I think we have to keep an eye on the testing as well.
Very good points. I do want to use your expertise to just talk a bit about some of the data that we're seeing about one of the vaccine options, which is the Johnson & Johnson one. This new data today, 66% effective. What would you say to Canadians who are going to hear that number, maybe not take a deep dive on the science and go, oh, 66%, I'd rather hold out for Pfizer?
First of all, I think that we need to see the data, the publication and the results of the large trial, because sometimes it's a little bit confusing. If you look at the data carefully, it says actually that the vaccine was able to prevent 90 to 100% of severe disease and moderate to severe disease. So it's going to be interesting to see if the 60% refers to mild disease combined with the severe one, and what is defined in the mild disease. Is it coughing? Is it fever? But what we're concerned about mostly are people being hospitalized, the severe illness, people needing oxygen, being in the ICU. And if we can prevent 100% of those, I think that's a vaccine that I'm certainly prepared to take.
I have a laundry list of questions for you, Mona Niemer, and we are completely out of time. I do hope you'll come back on the program so we can pelt you with some more questions.
Well, thank you very much for your public service and informing the public about science and about vaccines. This is very important. Thank you.
Thank you for your time today.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.